Stop worrying. Trust God with the impossible. Sometimes life has a way of throwing challenges our way, doesn't it? We go about our daily routine thinking we've got everything under control, and then suddenly things change, problems arise, the unexpected happens, and in those moments it's easy to feel lost, unsure of what's next. But let me tell you, my friend, you don't have to carry that burden on your own. You don't have to hold on to that weight of worry. Trust God with the impossible. You see, when we look at our problems, sometimes they seem so big, so insurmountable. We feel small. We feel like there's no way out. It's in these moments when we look at our own abilities and see limitations that we often forget that the God we serve doesn't work with the same limitations. What is impossible for us is nothing for Him, and He's right there with us, ready to help. Now, I'm not saying it's always easy. Trusting God, especially when things look dark, is a challenge. We want to fix everything ourselves. We want to be the ones who make things right, who find a solution, who control the outcome. But in the process, we wear ourselves thin. We become anxious. We start questioning our faith, even though God's promises are clear. He has always been faithful. There was a time in my life, many years ago, when I found myself at a crossroads. I was facing something I couldn't handle. It wasn't just a simple problem. It was something that seemed far beyond me, beyond my strength, beyond my ability. I tried everything I could think of. I prayed. I worked hard. I used all my experience, all my knowledge, and yet it felt like nothing was changing. The harder I tried, the more I realized I was fighting a battle I couldn't win on my own. It was in that moment, when I finally surrendered, when I said to God, "Lord, I can't do this anymore, I need you," that something changed, not in the situation, not right away, but in my heart. A peace I can't explain settled inside me. And do you know what happened next? Slowly but surely, God began to work. He made a way where there seemed to be no way. That's the power of trusting in God. When you stop trying to do it all on your own, when you let go of your fears and your control, He steps in. He'll guide you. He'll provide for you. The impossible becomes possible because of His strength, not yours. I know it's easy to say this when you're on the other side of the struggle, but I want you to hear me clearly. Worrying, stressing, and trying to control everything is like carrying a backpack full of rocks. It weighs you down. It drains you. But when you trust God, when you truly believe that He has everything in His hands, you can walk a little lighter. You can sleep a little easier. God's Word says it clearly. Cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. And that's not just a nice verse, it's a promise. He cares. He knows what you're going through. He understands the depths of your heart, the fears you carry, the dreams you've tucked away. And He has a plan for you, a good plan. But here's the thing. Trusting God doesn't mean you sit back and do nothing. It doesn't mean you stop trying or stop working hard. It means that even when you're working, you're doing so with the understanding that God is with you. He is guiding you. You don't have to rely on your own strength because His strength is enough. In those moments, when the road ahead seems impossible, when the mountain feels too high, remember God specializes in the impossible. He parted the Red Sea for Moses. He closed the mouths of lions for Daniel, and he raised his son from the dead. If he can do that, don't you think he can handle your problems too? You may be thinking, but what if God doesn't answer the way I want him to? And that's a fair question. Sometimes the way God works doesn't make sense to us. But I've learned that his ways are higher than our ways. His timing is perfect. He sees the bigger picture, the things we can't see. And so we have to trust that his plan is better than ours. There's a story in the Bible about a man named Abraham. God told him that he would become the father of many nations. Now Abraham was old, very old. His wife Sarah was old too. They had no children. In fact, it seemed impossible that they would ever have children. But Abraham trusted God. He believed that what God said would come to pass, even though everything around him said it wouldn't. And do you know what happened? Sarah, in her old age, gave birth to a son. God made the impossible happen. When you trust God, he'll show up in ways you didn't expect. It may not always look the way you think it should, but his answer is always right, always good. And in the waiting, in the uncertainty, he's working behind the scenes. I know it's hard to trust sometimes, especially when life doesn't go the way we planned. But I can tell you this, God is faithful. He always has been, and he always will be. He hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't abandoned you. In fact, he's closer than you think. He's walking with you through the storm. And though you may not see it, he's working things out for your good. I encourage you today to take a step back and let go of your worries. Surrender them to God. You don't have to solve everything. You don't have to carry the weight on your own. Trust him with the impossible. Watch as he moves in ways you never thought possible. Don't be afraid to trust him. Don't be afraid to let go. When you do, you'll find that the burden is lighter, the path is clearer, and peace will begin to fill your heart. God is with you. Trust him. He will make a way. And one day, when you look back at the journey, you'll see how he took you through the impossible and led you to the place you needed to be. God bless you.